The Harley Texts are a collection of scripts given to Nika Robin by Saul that detail the wars of the First, Second, and Third Worlds. Simultaneously across Elbap at the Atom Tree, Frankie stumbles across an ancient mural possibly depicting the messages within these texts. Ultimately, this resulted in Chapter 1138 of the One Piece manga containing this double-page spread that has left many fans speculating about the madness Oda is cooking. The purpose of this video is for me to ramble about my theories regarding the Harley Texts and why I think the human fruit model Nika is the only god fruit. Let's start with some background. During Skypiea, 4 gods are introduced. The god of the sun, who we now know as Nika, the god of the rain, the god of the earth, and the god of the forest, who we know very little about. These gods are re-referenced in the Harley Texts. The god of the earth appears in the passage about the first world where he becomes enraged and starts murking mankind alongside an overgrown reptile with molars. What kind of snake has molars over fangs? I guess both the UK and One Piece universe are suffering from a dental crisis. The forest and sea god are introduced in the second world. The god of nature is said to have sent forth demons which enacts a temper tantrum by the sea god. The god of the sun, Nika, is mentioned throughout the Harley Texts in inverted commas, suggesting that the sun god is not a true god. I think the god of earth, sea, and nature are primordial beings, whereas the sun god became a god. Later, this is loosely supported by the line, "Humanity killed the sun and then ascended to divinity," in the second world. The first world passage describes the rise of Nika. The text starts with, "There was fire upon the earth, humanity succumbed to desire and touched the forbidden sun." We know technology in the first world was as advanced, if not more advanced, than modern day, meaning the forbidden sun could be an ancient weapon like Pluton, Uranus, and Poseidon. Alternatively, the forbidden sun could be an energy source like the mother flame that was intended to be shared by everyone. The line, "There was fire upon the earth," seems to hint at the volatility and unstable nature of the political situation between the races of the first world. Ultimately, the line, "Humanity succumbed to desire and touched the forbidden sun," is the predictable outcome of humans greedily taking this power for themselves. The next paragraph reads, "The slaves made a wish, and the sun god appeared." I think this is the rise of Nika, a legendary warrior with rubber skin who became a champion to the slaves. I think at this point Nika is mortal, and his title of god is akin to another major character's ascension to godhood, ironically due to also freeing slaves. The paragraph ends with, "But the god of earth became enraged." This could be due to Nika being proclaimed falsely as a god, or it could be due to the actions of the people of the first world. But either way, death warrants were signed, and alongside the serpent of hell, enveloped the world in death and darkness. I think the god of the earth takes inspiration from the world turtle, which is usually depicted as the world supported on the back of 4 elephants, themselves resting on the back of a turtle. During the Wano arc, a giant elephant called Zunesha is introduced, which itself carries the land of Zu on its back as a punishment for an unspecified crime. If this was the case, the earth god's form is likely the world itself, meaning that natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions are how it trims the fat from the census. The hell serpent being introduced in Elbap, which has Norse inspiration, could mean that is it inspired by Jormungandr the world serpent, and will be expanded on throughout the arc. However, it could also take inspiration from Egyptian mythology. Apep was the Egyptian god of evil and is usually depicted as a serpent that resides in the underworld. Apep was destined to fight the Egyptian sun god, Ra, bringing darkness to the world. This story has undeniable parallels with the first world passage. In Egyptian mythology, the sun god, Ra, prevails, killing Apep. I think similarly Nika prevails over the god of earth and the serpent of hell, killing them both. It would make sense if this passage is the introduction of the world we see today, made up of the blue sea, various archipelagos, and surrounding it the fossilized remains of the hell serpent, or as we know it today, the red line. The death of these entities is why the passage ends with, "They could never meet again." The passage about the second world starts with, "There was breath among the emptiness," The sun merely spread the embers of war. I think this passage still refers to Nika, who, after restoring a degree of calmness to the world, continues his mission to free the slaves. The god of the forest sends forth demons. I think this is a very important line as it potentially hints the origin of the first devil fruits, and that they didn't exist in the first world. Dr. Vegapunk theorizes that every devil fruit is born from the desires of a person, which goes some way to explaining why abominations like the soap fruit and garb fruit exist. Perhaps it is the god of nature that encapsulates the power of a dream into a devil fruit. This is backed up by the next two lines. The people of the half-moon dreamed, the people of the moon dreamed. The people of the moon likely refers to the winged races of Burkans, Shandorians, and Skypians that are alleged to have created the automata. The people of the half-moon could be the clan of D, or perhaps the people of Earth. The land of Wano is described as the crescent moon, so perhaps the other kingdoms united would make up the half-moon. I think it is too early for the people of the half-moon to be the celestial dragons, as this predates JoyBoy and the end of the Void Century. The next part says, humanity killed the sun and then ascended to divinity. It is entirely possible this refers to JoyBoy's death and the rise of the celestial dragons. However, I think this is where Nika dies at the hands of humanity. The forest god, hearing the dreams of the people, then proceeds to capture Nika's essence, immortalizing him as a god in the human fruit model Nika. The next line reads, the god of the sea became enraged, likely at the actions of the forest god and the imbalance in power this devil fruit had created. I think the forest god and sea god had a showdown which ultimately led to them erasing one another from the world and fulfilling the final line, they could never meet again. This event is why no new natural devil fruits are created in the modern world. It is mentioned by several characters like Blackbeard and Sanji that there is a book containing every devil fruit, which can only make sense if they are no longer produced. As a parting gift, the sea god likely cursed the devil fruits to provide some balance, and that is why they're hated by the sea. The human fruit model Nika is the only god fruit because the other three gods are dead. The third world passage reads, there was void upon the chaos. The unbidden shadows remember the day of the promise, and they hear the voice of the fragmented moon. This refers to the end of the Void Century. In the other passages, the terms half, moon and moon are used to describe various races, and so it is possible that the fragmented moon is the people of the 20 kingdoms that rose against the Great Kingdom and founded the world government. The unbidden shadows could be referring to Imu and the Gorosei puppeteering behind the scenes. The god of the sun dances and laughs, guiding the world to its end. This is likely referencing JoyBoy's defeat at the hands of Imu and the 20 kingdoms. JoyBoy guides the world with the creation of the Pone glyphs, inscribing instructions and knowledge for when the sun god returns. But ultimately, the world as it's known ends with Imu, the world government and celestial dragons taking control. The passage ends with, the sun will return and a new dawn will come. They will surely meet again, which sounds like a prophecy of the future. It is likely this refers to Luffy, the current holder of the Nika Devil Fruit meeting, and defeating Imu, bringing about a new world. So that's my theory. I'm almost certainly wrong, and I'm sure the comments will let me know via Oda memes, but it's fun to speculate. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know your unhinged theories.